Democrats on Capitol Hill calling out President Trump for not consulting Congress before the airstrike killing an Iranian general. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi releasing a statement saying we cannot put the lives of American service members, diplomats, and others further at risk by engaging in provocative and disproportionate actions. Well, tonight's airstrike risks provoking further dangerous escalation of violence. America and the world cannot afford to have tensions escalate to the point of no return. House Intel Committee Chairman Adam Schiff also weighing in. Take a listen.
U.S. airstrikes on these Iranian-backed Iraqi Shia militias and now the killing of Soleimani have increased the danger of a war with Iran, not decreased it.
Joining us now is Congressman Guy Reschenthaler, who was deployed to Iraq in 2009 while serving in the U.S. Navy's JAG Corps. Congressman, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Speaker Pelosi and other Democrats say they should have been asked, but they indicate that they wouldn't have approved if they had been asked. So was the president right not to have consulted Congress before the strike?
The president, the commander-in-chief, had actionable intelligence that Soleimani was setting foot on Iraqi soil in Baghdad for the sole purpose of planning attacks on American service members, on American diplomats, and our Iraqi allies. The president had every right, in fact, I would say the duty, obligation, responsibility to take out that threat, which was Soleimani. This should be applauded.
John?
Hi, Congressman. You know, the way I see it, voters did not elect a priest to pray. They elected a commander-in-chief to protect America, and that's exactly what he has done.
Yes.
But when you look at the tension, when you look at the adversarial relationship in D.C., is that actually feasible for the president to delay, after receiving time-sensitive information, to delay taking action just to seek approval from the opposition party? Like, how else would he have handled that?
Well, let's just back up. The Constitution, Article 2, gives the president the ability to defend America and defend American citizens from imminent threats. I would argue that Soleimani coming to Iraq to plan attacks on Americans was an imminent threat. Also, you have the War Powers Act, which gives the president the ability to act in these situations. So he had all the legal responsibility and the legal rights to do what he did. But Soleimani was creating havoc in the Middle East. He was stirring up all those problems in Syria where thousands of civilians died, funding Hezbollah, funding Hamas, funding the Houthi rebels in Yemen that literally overthrew a government. This is a man that was spreading chaos and terror through the Middle East.
So to that point, isn't he already on that type of list to be taken out?
Yes, he was already designated as a terrorist. He was already on the terrorist list.
Gary?
Yeah, hey. Congressman Gary Smith here. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you, Gary.
Look, let's stipulate. I agree with everything you said. The Pelosi and Schiff's comments are just idiotic. I mean, if Clinton did this, Obama did this, it's not even up for discussion. But here's my question. I opined, to be honest with you, on the previous segment that while it was actionable and needed to be done and should have been done, I'm curious in your opinion, when we cut off the head of the snake, cut off the head of the Hydra, how deep is their org chart? Does it change anything in their future actions?
Well, this sends a message to not only Iran, but all our adversaries, Russia, North Korea, and it lets them know that when America and President Trump draws a red line, that we are going to back that up. This is no longer the Obama administration. When you attack a U.S. embassy, the cavalry is on its way to repel that attack. When we say that we're going to do something, we do it, and we're going to hold bad actors accountable for what they did. And when Iran is acting up, when they're firing rockets into our joint U.S. and Iraqi bases, there's going to be accountability for that.
Congressman, you just mentioned Article 2, so that means that the president can react as he sees fit. However, there's some laws that I guess are being debated right now as to whether they're still relevant. The fact that the law was used back in 2001 against Afghanistan and then 2003 for Iraq. And the debate, it seems, and this is primarily coming from Democrats, that it's old, it's outdated, and may not be justified going forward. So I know this may be too legal, but I reached out to Chad Pergram. He's with Fox News, and he's saying from his point of view, and he's on the Hill right now, that is a major point of contention amongst a lot of politicians there. What do you think?
Well, this is just a complete distraction. Let me just say this. It's a complete distraction because Democrats don't want the news article to be about how President Trump took out a huge enemy of the United States and Western democracy, number one. Number two, if a law is old and outdated, there's a way to remedy that, and you pass a new law. So Congress can do that, but we have the War Powers Act, which I believe was passed in '72, which gives the president the authority to act quickly. Remember, the world is a lot smaller than it used to be. The world moves a lot quicker than it used to in terms of geopolitics. The president had to do this when we had the actionable intelligence and the opportunity to take out Soleimani.
Congressman Guy Reschenthaler, always a pleasure, and thank you very much for your service, sir. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you.